What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Pip God, giving you a technical Tuesday. I'm back and better than ever. I'm about to break these chart downs for you guys so y'all can understand how to read these charts. Because a lot of these traders out here, man, they ain't really showing you anything right. So what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm here for. I'm about to show y'all how to look at the charts the right way. So I'm currently looking at Euro JPY because this is a nice pair. This is a sexy pair, and I like looking at it. All right. So we're currently on a monthly time frame. Let me stretch out my chart a little real quick. Let me fix this, and I'm about to stretch it so y'all can see. All right. Stretch this chart out a little bit. All right. So on the monthly time frame right here, we have a big bullish candle. Okay. Market came off of a 115 support level. Okay, this is why I use these numbers, because these numbers are very accurate. 115 support. Look at how the market tapped it to the pip and then, went to the upside. So this overall trend on the monthly, market is still going down, but we're gonna go to the weekly. Okay. You can see on the weekly time frame, the market was coming off higher highs and higher lows. Over here. So if I get a trend line, okay, and I draw this trend line out, connecting from this low to this low, and I'm extended like this, make sure that all candles are hitting this trend line. So as you can see, we had multiple bounces. Actually, I could extend this trend line all the way back here too. All right. So as you can see, we have multiple bounces. This was a very respected trend line. As you can see, how the market went to the upside off the last bounce, causing the market to go to the upside. So let me take a quick drink real quick. So you can see that we're currently bullish, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying we're bullish, and I'm about to break it down on the daily and show you why I'm saying we're bullish. But we had a French election. I don't know what day. It was this week. I just know it was this week. So, which caused the market to gap and go, all that, funky stuff. And then we are currently bullish. Okay. My MA, I know my MA is red over the blue, but I could see us being bullish for quite some time. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to go to the daily time frame. All right. So let me fix my chart up. I don't like my chart all looking like that. So if I get a supply or demand or whatever y'all call it, if I get a zone and I draw it out from here and I bring it out to here, you could actually see what the market did. The market came into the zone, right? And then it went to the upside. Okay. Now look, watch this. Watch this. If I get a fib, if I get my fib connected from this low swing to this high swing up here, I'm about to show y'all something. I'm gonna show you why I'm saying this is bullish. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the daily. All right. Let me bring this fib in a little bit more. All right. Let me fix this fib. I don't like my stuff all messed up. I got OCDs on the chart, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see, the market did come off of a 786 retracement, line up with a third line trend line bounce, line up with a 115 weekly support. So this is why I'm saying this is bullish. I know my laptop is dying. Hold on, let me charge and I'll be back with y'all. Alright, sorry about that. Some people like me, myself, be forgetting to charge my laptop. Alright, so we're back. So like I said, we had a 786 retracement. You could also call this an ABCD pattern. So yeah, like I said, we had a French election this week, causing this upside move, right? This red area is my accumulation area. Reason why I placed it here, because as you can see, this is a strong area of resistance, and you can see how we had a multiple rejection, all these wick actions here. You can see how the market came out and then went back in and went to the downside. Me personally, I could see the market, doing some funky stuff around this area. probably range a little bit for a couple of days before it could, actually, play out. So, me personally, I will watch this area. Um, cause like I said, it could range. And probably have a correction. Probably go to the downside, bounce off the 120, and probably do another continuation to upside. Okay, so my upside target is 125 right here. 125 weekly resistance. That's if we break the previous high. That's if we break the previous high. If we break this overall structure, which you could say 100%, then I'm looking for a continuation. If if it don't play out, then we always have second options, and that's all I like about Forex. So you always have, two options, either up or down. So if it don't play out, what I see, then I could look for another, downside move, probably, another bounce off this trend line, but it always go based off of confirmation, right? It's all about confirmation. Me, I like to have a little bit minimum 3 confirmation before I look to execute a trade. I like to be 100% confident on the reason why I'm taking that trade, and I don't like jumping the gun. I always wait patiently for the setup to come into me. A lot of people don't wait for setup. They just jump into the trade. Try to catch pips. It's not really all about catching pips. And that's where a lot of people, come into the industry with the wrong mindset, and then they blow accounts. It's all about being better than you was yesterday when it comes to Forex. And a lot of people don't see it like that, but that's how I see it. I like to be better than I was yesterday. So say for example, I take a loss, then my mindset is to be better than I was previous day. I always ask myself, how did I lose that trade, and how can I improve myself to be better? And that's how I see in the Forex industry. I don't just think about pips. I always think about being, I'm always thinking about improving myself every day, because every day in the market you always learn something new. It's not the same thing. Like I said, it's all about being patient and let the setup come to you. A lot of people didn't even see this coming. Like, a lot of people didn't even see this gap coming, which is crazy. But like, down to the T, to the pip, technicals do play a role with fundamentals. So don't just fully just focus on technicals. Always throw little fundamentals in there. So always look at the news. Look at the high impact news, stuff like that. Read little articles. Look at Bloomberg, stuff like that. So when you do stuff like that, it gives you more confirmation. It's like the extra sauce on your technicals, because when you look at articles, you understand like what's going to happen probably in the next day or so, and then when that high impact news come out, you'll know what's going to happen, because you did your research and all that, and that's how you become a better trader. Fundamentals. There's always nothing wrong with fundamentals, but it's always nice to know fundamentals so you can understand like how the market moves, or why the market did that. Because some people ask themselves these questions, they don't really know, because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanna, like I said, if you wanna like understand fundamentals, go to Forex Factory, go to MyFX book. Go to Bloomberg. I look at Bloomberg majority of the time. I look at Bloomberg. Those type of, websites. It helps you understand like, why the market played out like that. They always release news on what happened in the market, and I always read stuff like that because it's interesting. Because I always want to know why the market did that. But yeah, this is my technical analysis for EuroJPY. My upside target is bullish, 125. This area here, like I said, if it don't play out well, there's always two options. You know, I can always redo my chart and look for a downside move. You know, don't don't be closed minded on just one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always two sides of the market. You know, is it up or down? Okay. Hope you like this video. If you have any comments, like this post, you know, that stuff like that. Also, if you know have any information on private coaching, I do that. Like I said, I'm only taking 5 people, so hit me up in my inbox if you want to learn from me, and that'll be it. Peace.